Alright, so this is Texas Hold'em poker. And I got a 9-6 on the big blind, which is pretty terrible. I hit the sixes, so I'm going to actually just throw out a little bet there. Let's do like... fourth of the pot. That's, well, 40% of the pot. You know, get some folds. Alright, he called. I gotta be careful now. He probably has 10 with a face card, so I'm gonna go ahead and check it. He checked again. Good. I'll just check again. Content to win that with a pair of sixes. Okay. Good. Okay, and we're back. I just wanted to check the settings to make sure everything was recording properly, and it is. Hooray! Okay, settings are good. Alright, cool. So we're good to go. Keep playing poker here. So I've been playing poker a lot lately. It's a lot of fun. I would have had the high pair here, but 10-9 unsuited is pretty bad, so I just folded that. Poker's a lot of fun. It's a lot more strategic than most people give it credit for. Pocket tens, wow, that's really good. The blinds are super low right now, so I'm actually just going to slow play this. Just call. I don't want to give away that I have the tens yet. Right now, what I want to do, if I all in with pocket tens, I might win, and it's probably likely I'll win. But it's also possible I'll lose. It's also possible everyone will fold, and I'll just get some blinds, which are pretty bad. So there's only one card here that's higher than what I have, which means I have a good shot at winning this pot. I'm pretty good. Okay, now there's two. I have to be very cautious right now. Min bet, that's only a tenth of the pot. I can actually call that pretty comfortably. Alright, now anyone with a pair of twos just got really good. I'll check. I probably still win this, but I might not. The pot's very small. It's not a big deal. The reason you don't like all in with a pair of tens is, you know, anything can happen with the cards, and it's just better. With low blinds, you want to just sort of try and trap people. In that instance, the table was a bit scary, so I didn't want to check raise or anything like that. Uh, 10-8, I'm folding. It's a trash hand. So, I don't pretend to be very good at poker yet. I'm still learning. It's a very fun game. There's a lot to learn. I've only been playing for a couple weeks online. So, you know, if you want to leave any comments for me about any of the calls that I'm making, and by all means, I would love to be educated on more strategy. Right now, my basic play is, okay, 5-6 suited is actually not bad, but there's a small pot. I guess that's okay. I'll call 20 with the ace-6, only because it's a low blind. If the blinds were high, I would probably fold this, especially, excuse me, in this early position. I'm right after the big blind. I'm the first to act. If everyone else, like, raised, I would be in a very bad situation. The ace turned up, so I'm actually in a great spot. I'll throw out a feeler bet right now. Like, 40 out of 100. So anyone who has like a flush draw has to think pretty hard about whether he should call. And the aces are pretty good. It's possible though that someone could have an ace with a higher kicker than I do. A kicker is the second card. So I have a pair of aces but only a 6. If someone had like ace queen, they would beat me, so I've actually got to be careful. Again, I'll throw out a little bet, not a huge bet. If he check raises, I should be very cautious. Okay. I'll just check here. Pocket jacks. Okay. Good play from him, I think, but with the ace and the queen, that made sense. If I had bet on the river, on that 5th card, he might have folded. So either way, I think I'd play that as well as I could have. So I'm up $500 now. That's pretty good. Okay, so this guy folded raised an early position. That means he has an excellent hand, which means Queen 8 won't cut it. So I should fold, especially because he's such a low stack also. Yeah, I wouldn't... I mean, I have no real chances at winning this pot if I'd stayed in. He checked. I'm going to put him on something like ace, queen, maybe a high suited ace, something like that, suited aces. Or he could be slow playing a king. He could have a pair of kings, but just not betting to be hiding it. We'll see what happens. Slow playing makes sense in this situation for him. He's checking again. If he's slow playing, he wouldn't check. I think he's just got an ace. He should probably call this, but yeah, I wouldn't pin him on anything higher. This guy might fold. He did. And there's that flush draw, so if he had like even an ace of... Okay, he didn't hit anything. Pocket sixes, alright. That's about equivalent to what I was describing in terms of hand strength. So it makes sense that he would play that. I usually, I don't know, when I try and pin people on hands, I try and... I often just sort of forget about pocket pairs. Alright, I just hit the kings, but with a very low kicker. I'm actually going to check. I'm going to slow play this. See if anyone else bets what happens. That's a min bet. That's not very high. And if he had a king with like a high kicker, I think he would bet more. So I'll just call. Now if he should throw out another one. Alright, another min bet. I'm going to pin him on the nines. So I'm actually going to re-raise. And if he has the nines, he probably will fold. Oh, he re-raised again. Flush is very possible here. I do have a 4, which the flush is a part of. I gotta fold. I gotta be very cautious about that. Yeah, he had the flush. Ace high flush. So good fold from my end. Yeah, he did have the flush, and that's good. I should probably... Sometimes I write notes on each of the players. You can do that down here, but I don't like to. So we have 4 people in. I have Jack 2. It's very, very weak. I'm not going to play it. Yeah, so, you know, he suddenly bet, like, he suddenly re-raised. He was betting a small amount, and then, since I re-raised him, he knew I had something good, which I did. I had a pair of kings. For him to re-raise my re-raise, that means he has something amazing, which was the flush, so I definitely had to fold that. Unless you've got like the highest possible hand, you should not call something like that. It's very rare someone will bluff that sort of thing. He was bluffing like a third of his pot too, which is pretty all in. A third of his stack, I should say. Get the terminology correct. So, of course, in this hand I would have had nothing so far. So this guy's min betting. I'd like to see what he has. So what he does when he min bets every round. If he folds now, it would mean, I think, that... Oh, he called. Interesting. Okay. He checked. He's afraid of the flush. He didn't hit it. 30 probably didn't hit the flush either. I don't think any of these guys hit the flush. He might have a low pair. I'd put him on the 9s or the 10s. Maybe 9 queen or 10 queen. He re-raised. That's interesting. He might have the flush indeed. And he called. Alright, so never mind. He did have the queen high flush. That's an excellent hand. Yep. I don't know why this guy called on that. He shouldn't have. He probably thought that this guy was bluffing, but a re-raise is seldom a bluff. Oh, pocket 3s. This is an annoying hand. I'll call it. Okay, every card was higher than a 3, and there's a pair on the board. I should fold any raise, pretty much. I really don't have any prospects here. This is why this is kind of a weak hand. The pair of 3s, like, it looks like, oh, I've got a pair, I'm in good position, but you need to, like, hit a 3 on the board to be in any position to play. So I don't really like that. If this guy would ever move, I think he's going to get folded. Well, he checked, alright. I mean, I'll check the 3s happily, that would be great, but no, I think I should fold. So just, I can run through the odds real quick. This is 350 pot, 50 to call. So that's about 5 out of 35, or 1 out of, I think that's like 1/6, something like that. I'll fold, of course, but 1/6 of the pot. My odds of hitting that another 3 were about, I had 2 outs. 2 outs means there were 2 3s left in the deck, so I had 2 out of 52 chances to hit. Essentially, I have about an 8% chance of hitting a 3. So if anyone has any pair on this board, which they probably will get, especially with the flush draw, the queen now on the board, I just had I had less than a 1/6 chance of winning, so I should not call 1/6 of the pot. So that's how you do that. Now this current game is actually just a $55 buy-in. Oh, pocket fives is interesting. Alright. I'm surprised this guy bet, but he was just min betting. Ooh, ace-9, that's good. I'll call. I'm in early position. This is typically a good hand, but I'm not going to raise right now. The blinds are low. I want to trap people, play it slow. Anyway. It's not the greatest, but you know what, I'll check it. Checking is usually good. You get a free card. And there's the ace. That ace I got for free. I didn't have to pay for it. And I don't think anyone has a better ace than what I have here. I really doubt that. I'll bet kind of half the pot. That's a little low. They won't expect much. They might just fold anyway if they have nothing. He called. I'm glad about that. Okay, 2s are now a threat. I'll re-raise to 200. If he re-raises, I'm in big trouble. Good, he just called and I win. Yep. Good play, okay, cool. 10 queen. This is early position, I'm not going to play it. 10 queen looks pretty good, but I'm the first to bet. So if I do 10 queen and then someone all-ins, that's really obnoxious. And if I do 10 queen and everyone else like plays like they are, most people are still in, I have to deal with 4 different hands, and one of them will probably have a king or an ace. It's just likely. So it's pretty tough for me to do that. Pretty weak flop. This guy's short stacked. These 3 guys are all pretty short stacked, so they probably can't play much. I'm surprised no one's all in yet. Usually when you play these online tables, someone all in's like the first hand, and it's ridiculous. Ace 8 is a good hand. Queen 5, but it's not suited. But I'm a big blind, so it's actually okay. I don't mind that so much. Okay, I can check it safely. That's great. Ace 9. That's very, very dangerous. Check. Anyone with a high ace probably would have raised before the flop. Flop is these 3 cards, if you're not aware. So, alright, a 50 bet is like a feeler bet. He just wants to bluff people out. Or he's slow playing, or he's got a 9 with a, weak 9. I'll call 50, I guess. Should I? Sure, I'll call 50. Why not? You have to mix up your play a little bit. You shouldn't be too predictable just folding when we have nothing all the time. And 50 is the minimum bet. It's not a big deal to call that. I feel like if I re-raise right now, I could probably win. But on the other hand, he's betting 50 with only 400 chips. Let's re-raise 100. If he calls or re-raises, I know I can fold. And I know that he min-bets on something like aces. Okay, he re-raised. I'm going to fold it, but I know that this guy now plays... he probably had an ace. So, or like ace-king. Something pretty good. Which tells me he slow plays aces. That's good to know. That's very useful to know. I'm obviously folding this. For him to have, he has like 540 chips. For him to all in with that means he's got ace, 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 king, 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 queen, queen, something like that. 8, 8. Okay, that's a weak bet. But he wins it, so you know. Jack 3 should not have called that. That was dumb. They both played he played. I guess I was kind of reasonable with 500 chips. It's a little risky, folding this for sure. This guy should never have called that. That was a bad play from him. Alright, I would have had nothing on this hand. That's perfectly fine. So, this guy just strikes me as not a great player. He slow played 3 aces, which is usually pretty indicative of good skill, but in that case, Jack 2 call was kind of dumb. I think he read that Edezulu was bluffing, but that's a bad read, I think. Jack 5 is pretty weak. If both these guys fold, I might call, but they did not. So I'm going to fold it. Alright, that's reasonable, I think. So I know a lot of the viewers on my channel are into StarCraft, and there's actually a ton of overlap between StarCraft and poker. It really is. You know, a lot of the similar themes apply. You're dealing with limited information. There's my Jack, but weak kicker, you know. So I might have won that pot, but you can't really rely on stuff like that. Anyway, yeah, you're dealing with limited information. You're managing an economy. You've got money. You're spending money and making money. You got to, figure out what it's worth to spend. Wow, you have the flush. You only won 800 on a flush. All right. I mean, I would have all in at the river there, but sure, whatever. Ace 7 is all right. I don't know about this. Is a risky call, but I'll do it. Because if someone re-raises, I'm in a very tough spot. But I think we're okay. Oh, good, he folded. Alright, that was lame. Check. Good. That's a weak card. I think I can bluff these guys out, actually. Let's bet. 300 is a lot, actually. I shouldn't bluff. I don't have enough chips. It's not worth it to bluff that, I think. So I'll wait. Flush draw is possible. I've got nothing. I'm gonna fold it. This is pretty much a bluff bet, which is good. He should get punished for this if it was. Oh, he re-raised. Alright, I'm putting him on the queens. Maybe queen jack, something like that. Or the flush. Wow, he's all in. He's got the flush for sure. You wouldn't all in with it. That's like a triple re-raise. Big pot here. Ace flush. That should win no matter what. 5-9? He had a full house. Wow. Wow, good on him. So we got one guy eliminated. 6 king early position. I'm folding it. I'm really surprised this guy played that. He, 5s and 9s, you just don't play that type of hand early on. But, I think he was the big blind, so it makes sense, I guess. Still, that's a very surprising, that's a hidden type of hand. You're not going to see that very often. Because you're not going to expect that, because those cards are so low, people don't play that before the flop. But with the blinds, you never know. Ace 3, good hand. Good fold also by the other guy. Or did he fold? I don't think he did. Alright. Queen 6, but it's suited. That's actually great to be a blind with this hand, because I've already put money in. I don't have to make the decision. I just check, and I could get something great. Yeah, I didn't. It's just me and him, though. So I can bet a little, but it's not worth it. I'm just going to check. Like, he keeps checking. I could probably bluff him out. And yeah, now he has to bet a little. I doubt he had anything there. I mean, you never know what he could have. Now, this kind of sucks. 4-Jack is very weak, and... Oh, they both folded, so I guess I can call this. But yeah, it's pretty weak, and I already put 75 bucks in for the... Okay, what are my outs? I've got jacks, I've got maybe a long flush, but that's tough. I gotta fold it. 7 ace, all in, jeez. Yeah, well, I mean, when he bet that, it was the high pair with the high kicker, so I guess it makes some amount of sense. But that's a risky all in. These guys are both very low. One of them should get knocked out soon, I hope. Ace 3. I don't want to play that. That's a low ace. I don't have any money committed at all since I'm not a blind, so it makes sense. And he re-raised. Perfect. Okay. If he had anything good at all, he should probably call. Alright. With any luck, this guy will get knocked out. He seems to be a decent player, even though he overvalues some low hands. Yeah. None of them hit anything. The kings could hit. Yeah, they're just going to check, I think. He's already all in. Wow, he bet. He probably hit the kings. There's nothing else that makes sense unless you had an 8 that you're slow playing. King, queen. Good call. That was a good hand to play. King, queen. Alright, so we're down to 3 players. I'm the lowest stack, which is a very bad spot to be in. You don't actually make money until you're in the top 2 in this particular tournament, because there's a $55 buy-in. It's very low. Only 6 players. If there's a bigger tournament, then... Alright, 9-8. It's pretty lame. Fold it. Yeah, if there were more players, it would be the top 3 wins. Oh, he had pocket 6s. Okay. Interesting that he showed me that. 3-2 is not fun to play. I don't want to play that at all. It's a terrible hand. I would have had a pair of 3s, but there's a king and a 10 on the board. You have to be cautious of that. Like, if I had stayed in, and now I'd have to be worried about the kings and the 10s. Oh, geez, now the 3-3s would have won, but you can't see that coming. I mean, that's ridiculous. So I would have had a 1 hand here, but, you know, you can't really rely on stuff like that. King 5. It's pretty lame. And I'm in early position to hold it. Yeah, I would have had a king high flush draw. That's actually pretty good. You know, blinds are kind of high now. I guess it's possible I could be starting to play more aggressively, but the thing is, I'm so short stacked. It's really tough. I'd rather just wait for a really good hand and then play it. Like 10 jack queen ace. That's a great hand. I'll check it. I'll slow play it a little bit. Well, I guess it's not slow playing if I don't have anything, but you know. So what are my odds? I have to hit an inside straight. I need a king, which is 4. Jack would be okay. I don't have the odds to call this. I don't have the money to call it either. And these guys very likely could be bluffing a lot right now. Because I don't have very much money. They can bully me around with chips. I've got to fold that. 10-7 is horrendous. I've only got a couple of blinds left. 10 queen suited. I actually have to all in on this. We'll see what happens. If I win their blinds, it's actually not bad for me at all. That's 300 chips. He called. Good. 2 jack. Oh, this is perfect. Uh-oh, he hit the jack. Come on, something. Ah, lame. Well, you know, it's pretty lame. But what are you going to do? So yeah, that's that's poker. I got third out of 6, but you know, tough position to be in. 2 jack. I don't know why he called my all in with that. It's pretty bad. Still, what are you gonna do? I'm gonna end this now because I think the size of this video file is getting massive because of how long it's taking, but hope you enjoyed a little bit of poker for change. I don't know if I'll do any more of these, but I have fun playing this game. And by all means, criticize my play on any specific hands. If you want to comment on those in the chat or the comments, please do so. I'd love to hear about it. So yeah, thanks for watching.